This is the AR9 that I just put together. It's all Aero EPC pretty much, except the bolt carrier group and the barrel are Faxon. And it's, not anything too special, but I did use a Blitzkrieg hydraulic buffer in it, and that made it shoot a lot better than any other AR9 that I've shot before. So I kind of want to go into that buffer system and the recoil system and how it ran with the components that I chose. So at the range today, I put about 300 rounds through it. It was all 115 grain S&B ammo, which is pretty hot stuff. It's like 1,250 feet per second muzzle velocity. And I used 3 different magazines. I tried ETS, Magpul, and Glock factory magazines, and they all ran flawlessly. Last round bolt hold open worked every single time. So I'm really pleased with the reliability and function of this. Never had any cycling or feeding issues whatsoever. For the sake of this video, we're going to go ahead and call this an Aero EPC9 lower. You hear that, YouTube? I didn't manufacture anything. It's serialized. I bought all these parts legally and assembled them. B5 Systems grip, that's my favorite. Geissele SDE trigger, that's my favorite. We got the Ambi Radian safety, again, my favorite. Strike Industries bolt catch. This was an Aero EPC lower parts kit. Of course, it takes Glock mags. Just standard carbine buffer tube with a Magpul SLK stock on it because I wanted to keep it as lightweight as possible. It's a little bit more difficult to shave weight on these when the bolt carrier group and the buffer itself is so heavy. I'll talk about that a little bit more when I talk about the hydraulic buffer. But the cool thing about these is since a lot of the weight is right here in the bolt carrier group and right here in the buffer, it balances out really well and feels really nice, and it's not so front heavy like a AR-15 chambered in 5.56. Aero EPC9 upper last round bolt hold open is integrated into the upper and comes assembled like that. Radian Raptor charging handle, and I had this extra primary arms MB25 red dot laying around, and it was great, great for range use, so it's going to stay on the gun. I went ahead and sprung for a carbon fiber handguard because weight reduction, bro. This is a KE Arms 12.5-inch carbon fiber handguard. It's a pretty nice piece, weighs only about 7 ounces with the included mounting hardware. This isn't the most robust mounting system on here, just these 2 little weenie clamps over the barrel nut, but really the only thing I'm doing with this handguard is hanging on to it. I populated it with my favorite BCM M-lock panels and my favorite BCM hand stop angled foregrip, whatever you want to call it. I have a Faxon 16-inch barrel installed in this guy, and the bolt carrier group is Faxon as well. I'm a big fan of matching bolt carrier group and barrel manufacturers, and I had no problems with reliability, feeding, or cycling with this setup. For my muzzle device, I chose the 9mm bore Lantac Dragon. I shot a Lantac Dragon on a 5.56, and it was like the rowdiest muzzle brake I've ever shot before. So they also look damn cool. I just wanted to try one of them on this firearm. And as you can see from this slow-mo footage, there's, it's definitely venting gases. There wasn't a whole lot of muzzle rise. As for helping the recoil out on a 9mm, I don't know how much this muzzle device is going to do, but all the cool kids have big nasty muzzle brakes on their AR9, and I wanted one too. I've shot quite a few AR9s, Palmetto State Armory, a Colt that uses the SMG mags, Freedom Ordnance, all sorts of stuff, and we're all familiar with how those direct blowback AR9 variants feel with their recoil. They're really kind of punchy and snappy and sharp and abrupt. And I can't remember the video that I saw. I'll try to link it in the description if I remember. But they were saying really good things about the Blitzkrieg hydraulic buffer system. So I went ahead and bought this kit off of the Blitzkrieg website. This is their high damped buffer. and it came with a Springco orange 308 carbine spring, which is an extra power 308 carbine spring. And they recommend this one for barrel lengths like 10 inches and greater. I put a 16-inch on mine. Went ahead and got the Faxon bolt carrier group, matched that kind of with their barrel. Thing ran great. It plays nice with the Aero EPC upper. You can never find the damn Aero EPC9 bolt carrier groups in stock anyways. This is the same price. I was able to get my hands on it easily, so I'd recommend that. The combined weight of the bolt carrier group and the buffer in this case is 21 ounces. And from what I've seen, you kind of want to be somewhere around 18 to 22 ounces total for bolt carrier group and buffer mass on these AR9 systems. I wanted to get a good look at the cycling of the gun here in this slow motion video. You can see that as it comes back into battery, there's no bolt bounce, none that I can see anyways. Unfortunately, the rearmost portion of the travel is obscured within the receiver. Maybe I could have gotten a better camera angle for that, but what I believe is happening is the spring is getting compressed, the rear bumper on the buffer is hitting the back of the buffer tube, and then that hydraulic piston is being compressed, and what that does is it really mellows out the recoil impulse. It doesn't feel nearly as snappy or abrupt or as sharp. So this thing was a real pleasure to shoot, and it had pretty minimal recoil in terms of being a direct blowback AR9.